Where the eyes with the will to see? Where the hearts that run over with mercy? Where's the love that has not forsaken me? Where's the work that'll set my hands, my soul free? Where's the spirit that'll reign over me? Where's the promise from sea to shining sea? Where's the promise from sea to shining sea? That wherever this flag is flown, that wherever this flag is flown, that wherever this flag is flown, we take care of our wrong. Take care of our wrong. Wherever this flag is flown, we take care of our wrong. We take care of our
Hello, Bruce fans, and yes, we do take care of our own, even if that isn't what the song's about. But that's a whole nother discussion that I think I may have with my guest today, because Jay and I always have fun breaking down songs. That's right, I have my favorite English teacher, Jay, joining me today.
Hey, Jesse. Thanks for having me back again.
No problem. I just love it, and it's always a joy. But today we're doing a little something different. As you guys know, Thanksgiving happens in November, and there is a lot of posts about people, expressing gratitude, and there's a lot of Christmas and charity and things are giving. So in the spirit of being thankful in the month of November, and also giving Bruce fans and fans of this podcast the chance to hear about charities that be worth their time or money, I'm having people join me. And Jay has a charity he wanted to talk about. So
Yeah.
Take it away, Jay.
All right. So last year I started what I entitled a write-a-thon, and let me explain that real quick. What is a write-a-thon? A write-a-thon essentially is kind of like a walk-a-thon without the neon headbands. Essentially, I gather people together in a common place, and I set a big timer for us, and we just write. We essentially write our story. If you've heard me on the podcast, I've talked about stories and storytelling, and on my website, I write my own personal stories, and I really believe in the power of storytelling. So what we do at this write-a-thon is we spend 2 hours together writing our stories. And there's a charity element to all of this. So last year I hooked up with Special Olympics of New Jersey. And last year during our fall write-a-thon, we raised $1,300 that we donated to a local chapter of the Special Olympics. And the local chapter was in need of equipment for a bowling team that they were going to just start up in the fall. So with our help and through raising money through the write-a-thon, we afforded them the opportunity to buy a whole bunch of bowling jerseys and bowling balls and some of the extra equipment that some of the athletes needed, and it was a really cool cause. So we're doing it again this year. The local chapter that I work with is in need of more materials for upcoming events. So we're doing a write-a-thon again in Robbinsville, New Jersey on November 22nd. And in accordance with that, if you can't be in Robbinsville on that date, I am doing a booster campaign, which Booster is a subsidiary website of Custom Ink. If you are familiar with Custom Ink, they sell T-shirts and a whole bunch of other memorabilia and paraphernalia that you can get your company's name or your team's name emblazed upon.
Okay.
And I have a website, rightonfighton.org, and on that website I have a link where you could go to my booster page, and you could buy a Right On Fight On shirt. And
nice.
all the proceeds of the Right On Fight On shirt go directly toward the local chapter that I'm affiliated with in Robbinsville, New Jersey.
That's very cool. And I mean, first off, you get a great shirt, but I want to hear a little bit more about this write-a-thon. So are these just anyone who, just like on a walkathon, not just athletes, but anyone who wants to kind of walk to, raise awareness and raise funds, is this for kind of anyone who feels like stretching their creative muscles? And
No, the one that we're going to do in November, the upcoming one, is
yeah,
for the school district that I work in.
okay,
So it's for the students of the school district.
very
Uh,
nice.
and again, a lot of our students are involved with the Special Olympics, and in fact, one of the special education classrooms is right next to my classroom. So
Hmm.
I get to see a lot of the athletes come in and out, and I talk to them in the hallway, and they're just really they're really cool.
Yeah.
And I love hearing their stories because they get so excited about Special Olympics and playing sports. And so the Write-a-thon on November 22nd will be led by the Special Olympic athletes. So actually, before we begin the exercise of writing, the athletes will come in and give a presentation to us and share their story about Special Olympics, sort of what it means to them and how it's shaped them and molded them. So it is really, really a cool event. It started small last year, and in less than a year's time, it built up to something pretty big where it's now more of a community event. Unfortunately, the one on the 22nd is closed just to people in the school district.
Right.
But again, if you would love to support us, you can go to my website. There's videos from the previous write-a-thons that you could check out. And again, you could buy a T-shirt and just support the cause.
Is that the only way to support? Like, a lot of times in a walkathon, you're pledged so much per mile or so much, can you pledge per page, or it's just for shirts?
Just shirt, and
Okay.
you could make an additional donation as well.
Okay, that's nice. Now, is there themed writing on this, or is it just open, it's an idea of just people getting a chance to be creative and at the same time?
No, the theme is telling your story.
Okay.
And so again, it kind of fits into what I kind of firmly believe in. I firmly believe in the power of storytelling, and Right On Fight On is built around that idea of storytelling. So it's about the power of storytelling, finding your own voice and telling your own story, sharing your own story with everyone, with the world.
How do you how are the stories shared once they finish writing? How do you share it with other people?
So what I do is I post some of the stories on my website.
Okay.
So we hold for anybody involved in it, there's a contest element as well where they submit their stories, and I have a panel of judges who go through and they pick out essentially the best stories, and then they share the stories. We share the stories on my webpage.
That sounds so much fun. And and I do think that finding your voice is so important, not just among young people, but no matter what your age, that knowing how to express yourself, knowing what your story is, and sharing that story is just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and that's something that I have really just become passionate about in the last few years of my life. And a lot of it had to do with me getting older and having children, and I was going back a few years before my daughter was born, and she's 8 now. I was talking to my mom, and her and I were just kind of talking about her past. And I
Hmm.
often, I think you often forget that like your parents had lives
Yes.
before you were even around, And when I had children, I wanted to start recording kind of my past life, so there wasn't like this veil of mystery around who was dad before I came around.
Right.
And so again, I think I've seen the impact that stories can have on people. And I think a lot of people, unfortunately, for whatever it is, maybe fear of judgment, that whole fear of vulnerability, just simply don't share themselves as much as they could or they want to.
And Jay, a lot of that is right in the reason I do this podcast is that I'm always looking for guests, and the first thing almost I'm always told is, well, I don't have an interesting story. And I always go, almost every Bruce fan I've talked to has some kind of story. And not just Bruce, musicians, fans of any musical artist has that story. And it's funny, you and I are starting late because I had a fan on and we went an hour and 15 minutes. And she said, I was sitting there dreading going, we're going to be 20 minutes and he's going to have to be pulling teeth. And I just don't know why I agreed to do this. She says, and I can't believe we went that long. We didn't even get into everything I would have wanted to talk about. And so I applaud that, Jay, because, knowing yourself and sharing your story, it can be very freeing and I think empowering. And I think that's such an important thing that you're doing as a teacher.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And then also to do it connected with your school and Special Olympics, that's just amazing. So tell me again how we can get the shirts.
Yeah, so it's real simple. If you just go to rightonfighton.org, I have a link right on the page, and you just go to the link. You click on the link. It'll take you to my booster page. And you'll see the shirt there. We got a really cool black shirt this year. Has the Right On Fight On logo in the front. Has the website address on the back. It's pretty sharp looking. I really like it this year. And again, all the funds go directly toward Special Olympics.
So what we may have to do afterwards is design one that says, Set Lusting Bruce, did she get in the car?
Oh, man. You're still losing sleep over that, aren't you?
It's so great. Jay, if someone wants to reach you besides the website, share how they can.
Yeah, definitely. At Facebook, Right On Fight On at Facebook, and then Right On Fight On at Right On Fight On through Twitter.
That sounds awesome. Jay, you, as always, are one of my favorite guests, and we will continue to have more discussions of just everything we can discuss. How are you doing on the Bruce book?
Good, man. You know what? Been a little crazy this week. We got a whole bunch of soccer going on in my house, and so actually, I just read a little bit before I got on the air with you here. So I'm about, where am I at? All right. So he just wrote. He finished up Greetings from Asbury Park, and now he's on tour with the band. And he was talking about all the different bands they opened up for. The Eagles in Chicago, and man, there was a whole list of bands that he opened up for.
Well, when you finish, I want to do, and this may not be a full episode, but I want to at least take some segments and you kind of critique it from not just your fan heart, but, from a writer and from your teaching point to kind of talk about it. I think that would be a fascinating discussion.
I would love to do that. It's funny. A lot of people think it's like sacrilegious to like write in books. And it's I love writing in books. So my Born to Run is already all marked up. so it wouldn't be hard for me to find some material.
That sounds awesome. All right. Well, thank you. And listeners, as we get through this month of November and through December, if you have a cause that is dear to your heart, and you'd like to share it on the podcast, please reach out to me at setlustingbruce@gmail.com. I am on Twitter at setlustingbruce and also at Jesse Jackson DFW. Let us know, and we'd love to have you to talk about it. Jay, thank you. I hope it's a big success, and I hope a lot of people go and get shirts, and they should take pictures and send it to me so I can post it on both your website, your Facebook, and my Facebook. That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be totally awesome.
All right. Thank you, listeners, and we will talk to you soon.